What is up, everybody? It is Scott here just before kickoff. Bournemouth going to be getting us underway at Anfield, and I'll run through the lineups for you. It's pretty similar to last time out against Manchester United, which went torridly, but you've got Alisson in goal, the back four, that as it's been normally this season so far with Matip out and Konate. You've got Gomez with Virgil and the two best outside backs in the world in Trent and Robbo. Sorry, I'm just getting my scoreboard accurate. And then you got a nice mix of old and young in the midfield with Fabinho, Hendo, and Elliott. And then your front three of Diaz, Firmino, and Salah, of course, with Darwin out suspended. So very excited to be with you here today, and let me know who you are, who you support, and where you're tuning in from, and I'll be happy to chat with you. I coined a sort of tagline for the channel that I just came up with on the fly. I'm kind of forgetting what it is, but once I pull it up, it kind of sums up what you get here on the channel, which is tune in to hear my commentary, conversation, and companionship on Beaty's Beat. You got Robertson pinging out to the right-hand side for Trent, who finds Salah and finds Elliott. And the ball wriggles through for Firmino towards the top of the six, but the goalkeeper comes out swiftly and well to scup out the danger. Sorry, still getting my bearings. Oh, that's an interesting keeper kit. Almost sort of a nod to the 90s, all along the shoulders and the sleeves, and then just a gray body right there. But here's Firmino feeding Salah through, and he tries to get a cross in, but it's blocked, and Firmino back on the ball. He finds Diaz, and it's 1-0 to Liverpool. Let's go. I didn't even have time to get my prediction in. I do think today is going to be a big victory. Lee and Shane can be my witnesses. I think it's going to be a 5-0. I think Klopp is really going to be up the boys' backs and really be clamoring for a performance, because it's just simply not been at all good enough so far this season. Little replay freeze there to check that Salah was onside. Nice ball by Firmino, and Diaz might get called for offside here. He actually is moving away from the goal as the ball is played. So he actually, even if he is offside, he kind of gave that advantage back. We'll have to see when they draw the lines here, but that is a beautiful goal for Liverpool. Very Liverpool-like, which we haven't seen too much of. We haven't seen enough of so far this season. Liverpool still without a victory. Okay, now they're showing a different angle, and it looks like Diaz is going to be onside. He's well onside, actually. Maybe they just froze the replay in a more fortunate position for Liverpool, but either way, we shall take it. Klopp's got to be thrilled with that. Kind of just get the jitters out after, again, just a really poor start to the season. But here we go. I mean, as I said, I think last week, looking ahead to this match, if the first victory of the season isn't coming against Bournemouth at home, then I don't know if we'll win a game all season, because this has got to be a victory, no doubt about it. Again, not even going to begin to discuss any sort of title contention or anything like that, because it's not even September. But let me know what your thoughts are. If you think Man City's going to run away with it, who is going to be in contention, I'd be happy to discuss those possibilities with any of you. I'm rocking my self-made Darwin Klopp's Evolution t-shirt. I don't have a store shop, but if I or a channel store, but if I did, I'd say on sale now. But yeah, pretty cool. I like how it came out. Definitely how I'm feeling about this season. I mean, again, even before the season started, you could certainly tell that this Liverpool team is in an even... Oh, and there's Harvey Elliott with a beautiful goal. It is 2-0, and that is a delicious, delicious effort by the young star boy. And here's the man. Here's the man that's going to have a huge impact on whether Liverpool's season is successful or not. That is a beautiful strike. Very Coutinho-esque. The ball pops out back to him. Extremely Coutinho-esque. The ball pops out to him on the top of the D, and he was 5 seconds ahead of schedule. He already had his spot picked out, and he just drills a really powerful curled effort towards the far corner, and the goalkeeper Travers had no chance. Beautiful little layoff by Salah. Tries to find Diaz, who actually takes a mistouch, but it falls perfectly for Harvey. He has one little sliver of opening and bangs it home. Actually, that was Firmino with the touch, the mistouch assist to Harvey, but no one's going to be complaining about that one. And Liverpool 2 goals to the good. My prediction looking very good so far. 6 minutes into the match, already 2-0 up. And you're seeing, again, I will concede that Bournemouth obviously being a promoted team, you would expect them to be one of the weaker sides. But honestly, I think you really need to hand it to Liverpool and just recognize that they're looking well up for it today. And Trent tries to find Firmino, and there would be the third goal. It was called back way before the ball was even in the box. But anyway, yeah, Trent tries to find Firmino, and he lays it off to Salah. I mean, they're making Bournemouth look like training cones out there. Again, granted, it was offside, but just little 1-2 touch play by Firmino, Salah, and Diaz. And I'm a little frozen here. Having minor PC issues, but we'll get back on track. And yeah, the match remains 2-0. Liverpool have the ball going from Gomez to Alisson to Virgil, and Virgil kind of megs himself, lost the ball for a second. And yeah, there's been some criticism on Virgil's play so far. I think it doesn't take a brain surgeon to see that he hasn't been at his best, but I just think it's, Liverpool, as I said on the last stream, is the team morale is low and we're just in a funk, and we just need to kind of shake ourselves out of that, and I think all will be well again. I mean, of course, not to say that everything's fixed, already, but I think this is evidence that, of course, Liverpool can get back. Oh, I have a soundbite for that.
Of course, Liverpool.
That Liverpool can get out of this funk and be back to our best. So, yeah, but Klopp interestingly saying before this match that I think sarcastically he mentioned that, yes, everyone was right, I was wrong, we need to make a midfield signing. So I think that there was sarcasm laced with that, I think he's kind of sick of hearing everybody's opinions every 3 seconds. It's just the modern world we live in, but he obviously knows what vision he has, as well as the club hierarchy, and oftentimes it's just he bats away any sort of questions in press conferences. A little penalty claim there for Bobby as he tried to take on his man in the left portion of the 18. Ball kind of popped up off of the player's foot and onto his arm, so it was certainly unintentional, but the referee wasn't interested. So anyway, I think Klopp was sarcastic with the delivery of his statements, but I do think that he's serious on making a midfield signing, and so you've had players linked like Tielemans, who I don't think would be a great fit. Moises Caicedo, I believe he's Colombian Brighton player. He hasn't been a Brighton player for awfully long, but he's had a good start to the season. So, not surprising to see people linking, sort of a flavor of the week sort of candidate. Frankie de Jong has been thrown in the mix. Obviously, that would be an expensive one, both in fee and wages. Who else? Konrad Leimer from Leipzig, I believe. Who knows? Maybe that could be a little swap deal between Keita and Leimer and just kind of call it even. I don't know much about the player, but I know he's been linked for years now. So you would... I tend to think that there is a bit of truth to that, because otherwise I don't think he'd be continually linked to Liverpool. So there's him, and then who else am I missing? Ruben Neves. I've been seeing some traction there. So it's interesting. I think Neves and Tielemans are players that are certainly exciting to most fans because they're good players. There's no doubt about it. But I think the question is, of course, this isn't FIFA. Just because someone has an 82 rating doesn't mean that they're going to come to Liverpool and perform as such. So I think Tielemans is the one that you can kind of get suckered into. He's a talented player. He's had a really good... he's performed very well in his time in the Premier League with Leicester. So, he can perform in the league. So that kind of gets rid of some doubts. But I don't think that he's a good fit for Liverpool, because Liverpool's midfield is the engine room, and they're the ones that make stuff happen. They win the ball, they recycle, they get us going very quickly. Tielemans is not, at least I haven't seen or know him to be quite any... I don't know him to do much on the defensive side of the ball, so pressing, I think, would kind of be out for him. But, again, he's a talented player, and he has 1 year left on his contract. So I think a lot of fans will probably start to get pretty excited that he is a reasonable and realistic option. But I don't think that that's a fit for this Liverpool team. I mean, I'll admit straight up, I've never seen Moises Caicedo play. I remember the buzz around him when Brighton signed him. World Football Phone-In, Tim Vickery spoke highly of him and that he was a very promising talent. And listen, we know how good Brighton's recruitment has been over the last 3 or so years. So I don't doubt that he very well may be a great player to come. Bournemouth have a free kick, and the ball's kind of bouncing around, and they're getting closer and closer to the Liverpool goal, but the Bournemouth player not able to get any bit of mustard behind the shot, and Alisson able to comfortably claim it. But he very swiftly boots the ball upfield for Salah to run onto. But unfortunately, that quick thinking goes unrewarded because the Bournemouth keeper is able to collect on the edge of his box. Diaz on the ball, cutting in on his right foot. Harvey Elliott is just everywhere today. Oh, and that's got to be the first goal. Mo Salah missed from 1 yard out, but that was beautiful play by Liverpool. Mo Salah is laughing in the goal mouth. He was gate crashing the goal, which the move started with Diaz, as I said, cutting in from left to right. He's going sort of against the grain. He cuts it back for Firmino, who deliciously does a little Cruyff first-time ball to Elliott, who's almost like that was double against the grain. So very difficult for Bournemouth to keep their breath, trying to keep up with all these Liverpool attackers. Elliott was darting towards goal. He could have had an attempt on goal. It very well may have even been a shot as he curled it in towards the back post. It just was going to miss the back post by a yard or two, and there was Salah, who really, really needed to bang that home, but maybe he just was a little bit off balance or got too excited. Certainly would have helped his confidence to get back to his best, grabbing a goal. I don't doubt that he'll grab a goal today. He's looking. I mean, he's looking back. There's little flashes of the old Ballon d'Or level Salah. Maybe that's getting a little bit carried away, but he was on the front foot there, roadrunner style. He was just a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm shifting to a different chance. He was just called back for offside, but that. Oh boy, Joe Gomez almost loses the ball on the edge of his box. Slide tackle coming in from number 10, Christie. Not sure of any relation to ex-New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. But the slide tackle was a bit late. Gomez was a bit lackadaisical there. He does get rid of it, and I don't think Gomez was too pleased with that tackle. There wasn't really much wrong with it. I think it just ended up being a collision more than a tackle, really. But of course, Gomez, with all his injury issues and Liverpool's current injury issues, won't be too happy. Beautiful play here by Liverpool. A lot of, like I said, against the grain stuff. Midfielder dropped it back to Robbo, who was, Bournemouth doesn't know which way Liverpool's going at the minute. We're a lot of clever play, moving in one direction and then bringing it back the other way. Bobby scoops the ball towards Salah, and Hendo and Salah were both going for it. I really love this Bournemouth goalkeeper kit. Again, it has some retro feel to it on the top. Looks like maybe Hendo was offside by a head. He was running towards the ball. I mean, he wasn't really too passive, honestly, as he was darting towards the ball, but the way it's interpreted, I think they let him get away with it. As well as I think Salah might have been a hair offside. It depends on what body part you chop off on the line, but alas, it's a Liverpool corner anyway. Played to the near post. Hendo I don't know if that was planned, but Hendo, it was about maybe knee or hip height, and Hendo tries to back heel flick it either on frame or just try something. But it doesn't really go. Oh, my focus is off. Let me. Oh no! What's happening? Let me see if I can reset it. Diaz is through in on goal. Travers has to come out and block it. It was a little bit of a breakaway, but not really head on. And if Diaz was able to scoop the ball past the keeper to a teammate, then perhaps something would have happened. But what is happening here? Video. There we go. That looks better. Oh my goodness. Scores from other matches. We've got Palace 2-0 up on City. Let's not get too carried away, but that is certainly something exciting to monitor. We like that. 2 goals to the good in our match, 2 goals to the good in City's. That's why you gotta have patience, folks, and recognize that things happen in the season, and as imperious as City might look at any given point in time, they can lose matches. Anybody can beat anybody in this Premier League. I do think I think the statement I just made, although a cliche, is true. However, I wouldn't necessarily say that the Premier League is super competitive right now for obvious reasons. I mean, City and Liverpool have dominated the last 5 years. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's an interesting thing because if you just flatly, like, what do you call those types of questions on your test in high school or whatever, the open format prompt type of questions, and just say, is the Premier League competitive right now? Or is it strong? I have to find the right word to make it a debatable question. I think that's quite an interesting question because it's the strongest league in the world. By that, I mean, you see a lot of English clubs in the Champions League, and just overall, when you know, obviously things fluctuate through the season, but I think that there's a lot of English teams, a disproportionate amount of English teams in the top 10 clubs in the world at any given point through the season. But the top to bottom, it's not, well, not even top to bottom, it's just even top to kind of top is not competitive. I mean, Tottenham, Chelsea, United, Arsenal, they have not been really providing any sort of threat to Liverpool and City. So I think, again, that I think the answer has to be that, you know, certainly England is very strong right now, and you also see it just in the transfer window that I'm probably not going to be able to come up with a great example off the cuff, but it's a beautiful ball in by Salah trying to find Firmino, and the ball, you don't see this often, a really dangerous ball just kind of skirt all the way through untouched through the box. I think it was just maybe out a little bit in front of Firmino. Firmino is probably half a step offside, and yeah, the ball was out a little bit. I mean, nothing wrong with the ball, but just a little bit of a timing thing. But again, Liverpool looking quite sharp, and Yeah, so let's see scores around the league. United got a victory, their second victory on the bounce against Southampton in the early match this morning. Everton is beating Brentford 1-0 currently. Brighton and Leeds 0-0. Chelsea and Leicester the same. And Palace beating City away to City, mind you. So that is certainly an interesting one. I'm curious to see statistically 80% possession City. Total shots 1 to Palace, and yet they have 2 goals. Their first goal was an own goal by John Stones, and then Joachim Anderson, the fellow that was embroiled in controversy with the Darwin incident. I'm guessing he scored a headed goal on a corner. I can't imagine how else he would be grabbing a goal. Trent plays the ball out to Salah. I love to see there must be such a natural chemistry between that whole right side between Trent, Elliott, and Salah. You just naturally see these triangles all the time, and it was something that I really, really noticed and picked up on the beginning of last season when Elliott really got his first real minutes for Liverpool. Alisson having to come 45 yards from his goal to clear a very ambitious through ball, but one that the Bournemouth player was running onto nonetheless, and he was going to win in a foot race against Virgil due to his positioning. Out the chat. Oh, and it's another goal for Liverpool. I'm sorry for. Oh, and chat is working. Trent is working. He bangs one in from outside the box. I apologize. I'm gonna have to wait for the replay on this one. I was tweaking with my stream and missed a beauty of an effort. Trent is back. Where were all the haters? I heard a lot of guff about Trent playing horribly so far this season and not looking in the rear view at all. Not saying they're right, not saying they're wrong, but Trent Alexander-Arnold, we all know how talented he is. You give him too much space on the edge of the area, and edge is a bit 25 yards out, and he just bangs it in. He is such a great striker of the ball, and he hits a knuckler towards the top corner. That is a beautiful effort by the young Scouser in our team. Beautiful, beautiful job. Let's see if I can put his song on. little delayed. I have to import it. Oh, do I have it? I don't think I have the Trent song. I'll have to get on that maybe over halftime. I think what we can say though is we certainly think that Klopp will have been happy
The
with
best
that
word I
on the
can say,
sideline.
but will describe this was boom.
Liverpool looking very good, averaging a goal every 10 minutes. At this rate, we're going to get to 9-0. Let's see it happen. Fabinho plays a little bit of an errant pass towards Elliott, who finds Salah. He gets a cross in, and it's Bobby Firmino, 4-0. This is becoming a training exercise for Liverpool, and boys, Anfield loving it right now. This is the Liverpool team they know and love. Scott Parker's going like this on the sideline. He's just waiting for halftime. He's still got another 15 minutes to weather. But Bobby Firmino, who you got to say has been brilliant today, he gets himself on the score sheet, and good for him. Well deserved. That was a wild goal there. It was Mo Salah on the right sideline, or the right wing. He tries just a normal pass on the ground, basically, to I think maybe it was Trent, waiting on the top of the box, trying to reorient the point of attack, and the Bournemouth defender who tried to intercept got a toe to it and completely redirected the ball right into Bobby's path. Beautiful cross it ended up being, and Bobby just finishes it from about 5 yards. So that was a gimme. But listen, this is exactly what happens. This is why I wasn't sweating the slow start to the season. Once again, not to pat myself on the back too hard, but again, sometimes the luck just isn't going your way. And this is much more familiar to Klopp's Liverpool. I mean, all throughout his reign, yeah, sure, any team has slumps, but I mean, Klopp really has that same sort of luck that Sir Alex did at United. You never write Liverpool off, and luckily you don't even have to make that consideration, as this is the first match all season that we took a lead in. So no comebacks needed today, but Diaz is playing tricks over on that left sideline. He lured the Bournemouth defender in and did that little scoop up and over the player's leg, and then I think he had to ride a little bit of a challenge by the Bournemouth teammate that probably didn't like that his comrade had just gotten embarrassed a bit. Here's Trent with the ball towards the back post, and it falls to who but Andy Bravo, who of course heads over the bar. But life is good at Liverpool right now. We'll be welcoming this fella back. I believe, does he have one match still to go on his suspension? I know he's back for the Everton match. Just calling up the Liverpool calendar currently. I believe there's a midweek match against Newcastle, I want to say. And then we have the yes, I am correct in everything I just said. You've got Liverpool Newcastle on the 31st. I'm not sure if that's deadline day. Historically, it has been. Premier League deadline day. It is, oh no, that's 2021. Deadline day is September 1st on Thursday, so there'll still be another day to go following that Newcastle match. I have a feeling that this deadline day actually will live up, because you've got United that really need some reinforcements, and they've been chasing Frankie de Jong themselves the whole window and haven't been able to get it done. I kind of feel like he probably has no interest in going to United at this point in time, but who knows, maybe it's just been a financial thing, or there's the whole issue with Barcelona having him defer his wages, and then if Barca sells him, then, I mean, you'd still think that they have the obligation to pay him those sort of back wages, but obviously once he leaves the club, then that's becomes a much more complicated situation, and I'm sure Barcelona would, of course, shysters that they are, and as dire of a situation as they're in, love for any buying club to kind of pick up that obligation, although I do think that's a bit unfair. So anyway, you'll just have to kind of remain patient and see what happens with the Frankie de Jong situation. Trent plays a ball towards the back post, and he winces as he sees the ball go out for a goal kick. Klopp definitely happy on the sideline as he paces back and forth a little bit. I'm just going to send a belated tweet out, try and get a little bit more interaction going for second half. Ooh, and Bournemouth have a chance there as Christie brings the ball down on the chest and hits left-footed half volley on the swivel. He is certain that that came off Allison, and they should be... Oh, that was a handball, too, on Christie, but maybe a bit of justice there. He actually hits the back of the backside of the outside of the post, and Allison did not get a touch on that. So Christie lying twice there with the handball as well as the petition for a Bournemouth corner, but kind of understand they're a bit desperate at the moment. Good times are back at Liverpool. I'm seeing some tweets. Crisis over. Again, depends all how you view it. I didn't think there ever was a crisis to begin with, but if you did think there was one, and there's opinions all over the map. Any sort of combination of Liverpool opinions one could have, I'm sure, is out there. Everyone thinks all is well and everything's solved and Liverpool going to go on and have a perfect season. I think most fans out there would probably be quite happy, slightly relieved that Liverpool proving themselves once again that we're capable of a performance like this, but I think most fans will still probably think that we need a midfielder. And giveaway by Bournemouth. Liverpool went high up the pitch. Here's Salah, who gets the ball. He plays the ball in, but absolutely nobody was there. So yeah, I think it's interesting. Again, I would love to have a little bit of a debate with someone to come on and let me know their thoughts about how Liverpool are situated currently. I'm a big trust in Klopp guy, and again, it's always so easy to say. It's so easy to say, oh, we need to sign somebody. Again, prior to just a couple of days ago, I was thinking that, certainly in the minority again, that we don't need a player, but the line of thinking there is that players are coming back with injuries. I mean, you've got the starting midfield three today. Thiago, Curtis Jones, and who else? I mean, Milner. So I guess after those five is when you get to be a bit sort of underwhelmed at our midfield options, because I mean, Naby Keita can be whatever. I think the writing's on the wall there, and I've had that for quite a while, although he did have a good season, so there were people that were very excited. Oh, this is finally the Naby that we've always wanted. Beautiful crossfield ball to Trent, brings it down on his right foot. Oh, he set himself up for a left foot strike. He fakes it, plays it down the line to Elliott, who Trent created acres of space for with that fake shot. Bournemouth know to get in front of Trent now. They've already learned one lesson. And Elliott plays in a beautiful, dangerous ball going right across the six, and Bournemouth put it out for a corner. So here is Robbo in swinger, and Bournemouth get the first head to it. Falls to Salah, who he's each chance that he's getting is going worse, but it's okay. I do think that he just needs to calm down a little bit. He took that down on the chest. Maybe he was trying to circumvent some bodies. I don't know. I'm making excuses for him, but he took the ball down on the chest, and the volley he gets away was 10 yards wide, if not more. So yeah, I think those five midfielders I'm happy with, including Curtis Jones. I'm a Curtis fan. I think that he has a lot of strengths. I think he has some maturing to do. Maybe even personality-wise, but I was more so just speaking about, decision-making on the field and becoming more and more of a Klopp player, becoming more and more of a Premier League regular. And I do think he'll get there. I think that he has his doubters out there, but I think I've seen enough signs that he can be a very good player for us. And it's always good to have an academy product in the team. Not that you should place too much importance on that, because you got to have players that can really cut it. But anyway, I think those five players are very, very solid. That's very good depth. And by depth, I don't even mean numbers. I mean depth and quality right there. You have five players that are very good that I would be happy starting for Liverpool in just about every match. Maybe not against like the Bayern Munichs. Maybe Curtis isn't at the level to get to there, but as fifth choice center mids go, I'm happy with him. And again, you have to think as an academy player, he's still a moldable type proposition. So that is great. I mean, then when you get past that, Milner, Bobby takes an effort from about 24 yards out and forces a save from the keeper. Almost got to 5-0, reaching my prediction before halftime. So we shall see. But, I mean, you have to be for obvious reasons, we're up 4-0, be happy as a Liverpool fan, but are we forgetting about this lad? I mean, he was so exciting to see against Fulham, and he, again, if we, let's just say for a second that we beat Fulham, I think the start to our season goes vastly different. Again, I think we performed well against Fulham. A lot of fans out there, that's probably not the majority of opinion. And there's 5. It's Virgil that gets the goal. He fulfills my prediction before the halftime whistle. And Virgil van Dijk puts Liverpool into the lead for a 5th time. Too easy, beautiful, glamorous, regal leap, and as soon as he makes connection with it, you know it's going into the back of the net, and he just attacks that ball, scores at the near post. Great placement. Travers, no chance. Liverpool, 5-0. As I was saying, though, I think the Fulham performance was a good one. We lacked just a little bit of, finishing touches, but, I mean, Darwin was having a field day. He was making the Fulham defenders' lives a complete hassle, and, he's, again, it's a loose comparison, but he's our Haaland. He is an absolute handful. He's young too, these target men that had been a completely phased out, very archaic sort of tactic, and you'd have the Chris Woods at Burnley or now Newcastle, and even like Callum Wilson, these sort of throwback types of players, and only players at the bottom of the table were using players like that. But now you have the new evolution to that, which, to be honest with you, ask Liverpool Lee as my witness. I actually called this about 3 years ago that just completely theoretically, are the target men going to come back? Because with the outside backs being such a huge attacking threat and tactic in today's game, crossing being a huge part of these dominant attacking teams in City and Liverpool, doesn't that lend itself towards a big body to throw himself at? And I think you're now beginning to see it. And again, I mean, these players they look like they've been made in factories, Darwin and Haaland, that they're just so huge, so mobile, so willing to press. I mean, they're the perfect machines. And, still human beings. They still miss chances too. You're seeing Haaland miss some chances, but yeah, it's going to be really exciting to see these two players. If you want to have the debate who's better or who's going to have more goals, be my guest. But I think just from an entertainment perspective, being able to watch them is going to be such a treat. But I'll get back into that a bit more in the second half. I'm going to take a little halftime break. You do the same, and I'll see you back here in a few minutes.
Of course, Liverpool.
All right. We're back. Hope you enjoyed your halftime break. Peacock still on their commercial break. But here it is. We've got Philip Billing coming on for Liverpool. Jeez, what am I doing? I'm doing the same thing last week, too. Philip Billing coming on for Bournemouth. Looks like Fabio Carvalho may be coming on as well for Liverpool. Why not? You know, we might even see Stefan Bajcetic, who's been on the bench quite a few times. That's the extent of my knowledge of him. I think he's I do think that he's a defensive midfielder from Serbia, I believe. And Harvey Elliott is on the Liverpool bench, so there's definitely going to be a switch. Here is Dominic Solanke coming on for Bournemouth. Not sure why he did not start. Maybe still just coming back from that injury of his. But second half about to be underway. And boy, could this be a glorious day for Liverpool. A +7 goal differential shift could be on the cards between Liverpool and City if results hold, which I would be completely happy with. Keep the clean sheet. Of course, I want to see more goals too, but not as important as Palace beating City. That would certainly be nice, but I won't wish for it too hard, because that will only make the letdown all the more crushing should Palace relinquish their lead. Pardon me. Oh, and let me put my scoreboard back on as it is the second half has started, and it is Carvalho on for Elliott, the only change. And Hendo at the back post gets a knockdown header, and he looks for somebody but to bundle the ball home, but it is Bournemouth's first to it. Liverpool still in possession, though. Trent now from a deeper position, and it's going to be an own goal, and it's 6-0. Luis Diaz was closest to it. It's Chris Mepham who's going to get his name on the score sheet for the wrong reasons, and that is a quicker start to the second half with a goal than was the first half, and that's taken some doing. Scott Parker might just resign during the game here, as this is quite an ugly one, and but Liverpool fans will be singing, will be delighted as Salah plays the ball to Trent. I mean, Trent is just way too open. Diaz looked like on that freeze frame he might have been offside. Again, I would say if he is offside, he is in an active position. I mean, obviously he's forcing the defender into making a play that wound up being the own goal. So we shall see if this goal stands. Offside. Let's see where they freeze it. Yeah, I mean, I think at any point where you freeze it, it's going to come back. Although where they've frozen it there, I mean, it's a very blurry soccer ball, but you see the trajectory. I mean, they got to back it up some. You can see the ball is blurred there, so obviously it's in motion. Again, if it comes back, it's not the end of the world, but again, just goes to show that VAR is not black and white, and again, I think we all have to accept that it's here to stay, but again, situations like this, when it's really hairline decision goal, no offside offense. Okay, I don't really know how they see, just in that reframing of the situation, I told you how, in the spirit of the game, I think it should be called. How where they paused it is a huge difference, and I got all not turned around, but I kind of discussed every side of it, and yet the decision sort of surprises me. So go figure on the whole VAR situation, but it is 6-0 for Liverpool. We shall take it. Another score update from around the league. It's still Palace 2-0 on City at the Etihad. Chelsea have taken their lead against Leicester, and they're about to be snatching Wesley Fofana from their opponents today, which I think I'm a fan of Wesley Fofana. I think he's definitely a promising young defender. I don't know. It's funny when you have a certain opinion of a player, and then once you see him or even imagine him in that next jersey of the team that he's going to be playing for, it just doesn't sit right. I sent out a tweet last week, just watching City play, and they really are lacking identity. I mean, again, it is early in the season, but for me, also just kind of adding up the dynamics, the chemistry that I really just don't see happening. I put out there that I don't think that Chelsea team is going to gel very well. Also, Thomas Tuchel is very tetchy. He seems very agitated. Definitely a tough last couple of months with Roman Abramovich selling the team, but I mean, all should be well now. Not that things heal right away, but they have new owners and they seem to be spending quite a bit of money, and I just don't necessarily agree with some of the moves that they've been making. Let's see, we've got chat coming in, as you all see, from Inton Bigums. If that's, let me know if I should. Oh, and it's Firmino who almost doubles his tally. He had a hat trick of assists and a goal inside 30 minutes in the first half. So definitely a beautiful day for the Bobby lovers out there. So Inton Bigum says that's like the Messi guy that got traded from Real Madrid to Bayern Munich. I don't think he's really that good at soccer. I'm not sure what to make of that. You're talking about... I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway. But I am glad for anyone to join in the chat and discuss the match along with me. It's a beautiful sunny day in Merseyside, England, and a beautiful scoreline if you're a Liverpool fan. Definitely a painful one to look at if you're a fan of the Cherries, but again, things looking good for Liverpool. And yeah, it'll be interesting I am willing to discuss the potential transfers that may be coming down the pike. Again, any Liverpool fans, let me know. Or if you're a fan of anybody, any transfers that you'd like to see your team make. If the Frankie de Jong thing were to happen, to me, it doesn't really sound like a Liverpool signing, but based on what's being reported, it does seem like there may be some legs to this. Again, if I had to make a call, black or white, if I thought it was going to happen, I'm going to say no. But I think if Liverpool are interested in any sort of player, I think that goes over very well. I mean, I already saw some reports that Tielemans is desperate to make a Liverpool move. I can definitely imagine why. Again, as well as De Jong. I mean, I'm sure he's probably looks up to Virgil quite a bit, and any player in the world probably would love to play for Klopp, just as willing as he's willing to run. But to be able to be, a very important piece in this Klopp evolution, as Darwin is and will be, that's got to be a very exciting prospect for any potential signings. I mean, I think we kind of have Jude Bellingham on a string. Maybe that's a little bit hyperbolic, but he certainly seems to be very interested in Liverpool, and I don't think he's for sale. Again, how things change in just 54 minutes. But heading into this match, I mean, Liverpool fans were certainly not feeling too great about our squad depth, our prospects for the season, and we gotta sign somebody in midfield. And certainly things have turned around. There's an effort by Bournemouth, nice ball in from about 45 yards, well-timed run by Jeffrey Lerma, and he actually got quite a bit of space there. He got away from his marker, and it was an off-balance type of header, and he tried to glance it towards the back top corner, but it did go wide. So, Man City pull one back in the 53rd minute. So it's 1-2. They are still trailing Crystal Palace. Yeah, okay. So Inton Bigham's he's trolling me. It's friend of the channel, SB1. SB stands for scumbag, for those of you who didn't know. But anyway, he was trying to go for a unintelligible caller per se, and I think he succeeded. So thank you for your view to the channel, and give me a thumbs up if you don't mind. But any intelligent conversation would be preferable. JK. Much love to all the tuners in. Here is Virgil to Trent. Plays it out to Fabio Carvalho. Very happy to see more of an extended cameo for the youngster. I mean, even despite Liverpool having a poor start to the season, I think Liverpool fans have already seen definitely some merits in giving Fabio Carvalho some playing time. Maybe still, I don't know, I'm a little in between minds here, a little confused about what I would do with him. Again, I still need to understand a bit more what his best position is. Sorry, I'm still laughing about Sean's comment. He got me. But I want to understand a bit more Fabio's best position. I think he showed definitely some signs of great spark, great option to bring off the bench, even possibly meriting, possibly a start in the near future. But again, you still don't know exactly what level he is when you bring a player on for a spark, and he's able to do that. That's great. But sometimes on the worst case scenario side, you have like a Ryan Babel sort of figure, or even like Divock Origi, a player that you are thrilled to come off the bench and give the other team a handful when you need it. But sometimes there are players like that you wince when they're on the starting lineup. But anyway, definitely some promising signs from Carvalho. Jumping back towards the transfers. Obviously, we know how the Liverpool transfer committee operates. I mean, you very, very rarely, if ever, see them making a snatching sort of transfer, a knee-jerk type of thing. And the only examples of that I can think of are like a Ben Davies or Ozan Kabak. And in that case, Dominic Solanke does a little pass it one way, run around the other with Joe Gomez. So he's definitely enjoying his return to Anfield. Or that might have even been a Meg, and not just one of those, Balassi, Richarlison type Megs where you're just trying to score points with your teammates. That was, he megged Gomez and then was able to still get the ball right in stride and try and cross it towards the middle, but Liverpool put it out for a corner and a very far cleared header all the way to the halfway line. And Liverpool back in possession now. Just about. So yeah, anyway, getting back on track. Jude Bellingham certainly is a player that is admired by Liverpool. He's going to come with a hefty price tag. But again, this is the type of signings that Liverpool make. They make slam dunk signings, blockbuster signings, if they are very sure that this is a player that's going to come in and be, one of the first names on the team sheet. What we don't make is exactly what Liverpool fans, again, not to be a broken record, but what Liverpool fans prior to this match were clamoring for, which is, a depth signing. And those are very difficult signings to make for reasons I've described in the past. Again, to make a signing that is good enough for squad depth, but is also going to be happy to not be the starting choice, that's a very difficult signing to make. And the way Liverpool typically deal with those issues are either signing James Milner, who's just like a legendary locker room type of guy, and willing to just be a leader off the bench, club captain as opposed to team captain kind of guy, or just youngsters. And that's really, honestly, Liverpool fans should be happy about that. Having Fabio Carvalho's, Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott's, and obviously the hope and the intention is here's Mo Salah trying to take on some defenders. He's going to win a corner out of that, as he was double teamed there. Oftentimes he's able to slalom through, but they were proficient enough to create a brick wall for him to kind of run into, and Jeffrey Lerma tried to shield that out of bounds, but and it's Andy Robbo this is going to be another Liverpool goal, as Andy Robbo shoots towards the back post. There was hope that he would have scored from outside the box there. But a nice save by the goalkeeper, but only able to parry it really right in front of him. And it is Bobby Firmino who gets his name on the score sheet once again. Let's see this replay again. Here's Robbo. He takes the short corner to Fabio Carvalho. Robbo makes one of the rare reverse overlap runs. Normally the overlap is headed towards the opponent's goal, but this one is headed towards his own goal. I think he really just tried to play that cross into a dangerous area. Shock of the day is Firmino doesn't go... Oh, he does. I think he did get the no look in there at the end, because his first attempt was kind of smothered by the goalkeeper. Did his best at point blank range to make the stop, but again, that immediate rebound fell to Firmino once again, and he was able to bang it into the empty net. Scott Parker trying to look as cool as he possibly can, chewing some gum, and has that four stripes cardigan that he's rocking, which is quite nice, I will say. But Yeah, he's definitely coming up short from the tactical point of view today. So, diving back into the transfer discussion again, Liverpool either make slam dunk signings or you have players like Harvey Elliott and Trent back in the day. I mean, he started as an 18-year-old and nobody knew that he would turn into what he's become. So that has been thrilling to see, obviously. Just checking in on the City match again, 73% possession and only 0.59 xG, total shots 9, big chances 1. So hopefully Palace can hold out there. Oh, and it is Basetic going to get his debut. He looks like he's about 15. He's going to come on with Tsimikas, it looks like. Possibly Milner as well. He has his training top off. And anyway, City have equalized. Come on, bring it back for VAR or something. But anyway, let's see who the substitutions are for. But yeah, again, going back to just to finish up on the depth conversation, I think that's the best possible realistic circumstance. Again, all the fans that think, to me, I would put it narrow-mindedly. Beautiful little dummy by Carvalho as he lets the ball run into space. He does the lets it go through his legs and might have even megged the defender there and just leaves the defender in his wake. And then there was a second defender that was able to join up with him and prevent him from doing any more damage. But really smart brain on the young attacking midfielder. Still 25 minutes to go, and Liverpool have a 7-goal lead. Here's Virgil leaping high again, and his effort on goal is headed clear. So I think we're going to do a redo on that corner. That header on goal wasn't actually on target. So that City goal stands. It's Erling Braut Haaland with the equalizer there. So who knows? City may just end up with the victory there in the end anyway. But yeah, I think that it'll be interesting to see what move Liverpool makes. I think that if we end up with a midfielder, it is... listen, it's certainly welcome. I think, as I discussed earlier in the stream, when you have only five midfielders that I think are sort of up to snuff in terms of being sort of top quality, I think, obviously we play with a midfield 3, so you would like to have cover/rotation for each of one of those. And then on top of that, it's just kind of cover. Which is where Ox and Nabi sort of fall into. Again, who knows? And then you never know what sort of tricks Klopp has up his sleeve, if any. Maybe he thinks that this Basetic kid is a supreme talent, and you saw Tyler Morton get some opportunities last season. He's been loaned out this season. I'm guessing that he's probably getting to be an age where they want him to really have that match experience. But yeah, to me, I would actually love it if Ox and Nabi were to get sold, just because I think those experiments are sort of over with. They're not reliable. Both pretty much due to injury, but one could even argue in performance as well. I would certainly hold that against Ox. As well as, Thiago too is, he can be great, but he can be, sort of a liability. I don't want to go too harsh on him, but he's not super reliable in terms of injuries. So anyway, I do think that bringing in a player that is a quasi starter, Hendo, who knows? Obviously, Klopp is a very loyal guy. And a lot of fans may think that he holds on for too long with some of his personnel, but so I'm just saying that because I think, again, Hendo, club captain, and also too, Firmino sort of rolled back the years today, played great as he makes way, as well as I think that was Hendo as well. Milner's going to come onto the pitch. Basedic is coming on. Let's just see the full thing. Milner on for Firmino, Basedic on for Hendo, and Tsimikas on for Rabo. So, Hendo, nice message there. R.I.P. Olivia. You'll never walk alone. I'm not sure on the backstory there. I'm not too much on social media. Most of you probably do know. But anyway, nice to see a debut. Always nice to see a debut, particularly in the circumstances being up 7-0. And let's see what the youngster has to show for us. Let's see. So yeah, I think I kind of touched on my comments there with the squad depth situation. I do think that most of the players are going to come back from injury. It's sounding like we're going to make a midfield signing. Whether that's if you sign a De Jong, you'd think that he would be certainly like a week in, week out starter. Although again, Klopp is pretty slow to introduce even big signings. Just to make sure they know the Liverpool way, how we play, yada yada. And it's hilarious to see. I just, for 2 seconds, I log on to Twitter just to send out a sort of a PR text, and I see someone saying, "Can you imagine De Jong, Fabinho, and Thiago?" And I just roll my eyes at that. It's such a FIFA midfield three. Even just last year, there's still people clamoring for, we want Fabinho, Keita, and Thiago midfield three, and it's just like, you're not. It's just not. That personnel is just so. Not even attacking, but it just, Thiago and Keita are sort of redundant. It's just, knowing Klopp, you just know that that's not going to be his preferred midfield three week in, week out. And so it's just, anyway, I guess you just have to ignore stuff like that. But sometimes I can't help like an eye roll. I think Fabio Carvalho gets in a no-look pass to Tsimikas. He's hanging out with Diaz. It's pretty clear to see. So anyway, I'm reinvigorated for this season. This is a great performance. I knew that Liverpool had it in us, as I said on the stream last week. Please tell me your name and I'll timestamp it if you think that Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk, Luis Diaz, Fabinho, Trent Alexander-Arnold are all players that have lost it somehow, a la the Monstars. These players they just weren't themselves. They were in a head funk, as I called it, and I knew that they would come back to form. And, when that happens, you get performances like this. Maybe not every week, but Liverpool have been extremely consistent. And with these players, and listen, these players are not 34 years old or 36 years old. They're going to go again, and you're seeing it today. And I think for the better part of the rest of the season, as well as, again, I'll say, you can't sleep on the excitement levels that Darwin Nunez is going to bring. Scoring on a Cruyff half volley in week 1 is just a little taste of what he's going to bring. And damn it, City take the lead on Crystal Palace through Erling Haaland once again. So that is, I guess you had to expect it. They had a full half at home to come back, and also a halftime pep talk. Haha. So anyway, Liverpool and City going to get the wins today. Trent tries to fire in a cross, and it's Bajcetic who is hasn't been able to had too many opportunities to show what he can bring just yet. Here he is on the ball again as Salah lays it off to him. He finds Fabinho, who plays a beautiful little flicked effort, and Salah again should have had his second goal of the match, but he remains scoreless. That is a beautiful classic Fabinho little shallow lob, and he finds Salah. And there's just not, I defy you to find another player in the world that can play a ball like that. Salah's onside, beautiful little intuition and run. He feels and hears the footsteps from Lerma closing in on him, and he pulls a Haaland there. He tries to just bang it in as the goal is sort of gaping, and he hits it over. Normal Salah, you just kind of he guides that right into one corner or another. He really should do better than that. But once again, as I said when Alisson had the giveaway against Leicester 3 seasons ago, I'd rather him do it when we're winning 3-0. And in this case, with Salah missing the chance, missing 2 golden chances really, when we're 7-0, so it could have been 9-0. So there you go. That could have matched the who we play in Southampton, winning 9-0. But yeah, I mean, this is a historic performance, and you have to pity Bournemouth fans. Yeah, I mean, it's again still early. Obviously, Bournemouth not showing me anything to dissuade me from them being relegation favorites. But again, it's still very early, and even in December, some teams you can just see they don't have it. They don't have the quality to survive in the Premier League. But other times it's just a form thing. I mean, you looked at Everton last season. I forget exactly where they were in December, but certainly their second half, I feel like it was even worse. They got it together in the last 6 or 7 matches of the season and were able to pull away. But for a while, it was looking like they were doomed. So sometimes it's just a confidence thing. And, obviously, as you know, sometimes clubs will try to make the manager switch and shake the team up that way. I often think that doesn't really quite work, but it is a roll of the dice. I keep kind of confusing Bournemouth for Burnley with these kids. They're wearing Umbro, wearing black, and that's been Burnley's sort of aesthetic in the last couple seasons, I feel like. Lewis Cook making way. I'm surprised. I want to see who has the worst match performance on the pitch. It looks like Jeffrey Lerma gets a 4.7. Oh no, I'm sorry, Chris Mepp. Well, that's maybe a little harsh with the own goal. He's going to be punished for that. He's a 3.6. Travers, the goalkeeper, has a 5.0. 4.8 for Adam Smith, the right back. And then you got Jeffrey Lerma with a 4.7. Christie got a 7.1, interestingly. I think 7 is a little... If you get a 7 or higher on FOTMOB, it looks like it turns your icon green. I'm not sure any Bournemouth players are deserving of a green match rating. Not that it really matters, but... Anyway, another 12 minutes and change to enjoy for the Liverpool supporters.
Salah!
The Bournemouth player that just made his way onto the pitch with the fluffy hair is down injured off of a challenge that he put in on the Liverpool youngster, Beaty. So Beaty is listed as Spanish. I apologize earlier. I said Serbian. Certainly a Baltic influence on the last name, but I think that he was from possibly the Basque region. A lot of influences there. I know there's a lot of French influence there, as well as I think maybe Serbian, and I think his father might have played as well. I think I remember reading up on that. But anyway, we'll have to see the talent. He's obviously doing something right to get an appearance. So let's hope his development continues, as well as obviously Liverpool fans will kind of hope to not see him on the bench going forward as a sign of a lack of depth. But here is Virgil van Dijk, who brings the ball up. No pressure from Bournemouth. They are trying to get all men behind the ball and really stop the bleeding. Here's a long ball for Tsimikas, and it's Fabio Carvalho who scores his debut goal for Liverpool. You had to know it was one of those volleys that was going to come good. That was a beautifully taken effort. As I've said on the previous streams, he's got such a great technique, taking the ball straight out of the air. Good on him for having the confidence to do so and, not get dissuaded by not scoring. I mean, even his misses over the bar have looked very close. Liverpool keep up the 1 goal per 10-minute pace. It is our eighth goal in the 80th minute. Let's take a look at this replay. You've got Trent from about 45 yards, plays a really long, sort of hopeful ball towards the back post. Terrible defending by Bournemouth. It's Tsimikas who takes advantage of the misjudgment of the fly ball per se from the Bournemouth defense, and that's just atrocious. He makes an attempt towards the ball, but doesn't make any contact. Just leaves Tsimikas able to take the ball straight out of the air. Cushioned volley drop of a pass to Fabio Carvalho, who again does very well to take the shot straight out of the air. But at that point, I mean, he had space. He had a window of sight towards the goal, and really the goalkeeper doesn't have much of a chance there. The Bournemouth substitute, Pearson, with the fluffy hair, as I called him, gets substituted. He can't continue. From bad to worse for Bournemouth. Certainly, as some Liverpool youngster that I can't even recognize is going to come onto the pitch. It is, I believe that's Bobby Clark, number 42. Not how I remember him looking. I believe this is the fella that is maybe a second cousin of Steven Gerrard, something like that. So he is an attacking midfield option. And center midfield, Newcastle, England. We signed him from Newcastle. Let's see. Am I making this up? Is he actually a relative of Steven Gerrard? Maybe he was just I don't know. Not going to figure it out today, but he comes onto the pitch. I believe that was Trent that made way for him. Just getting some rest for the Scouser. Yes, Trent made way. And 7 minutes for Bobby Clark to make an impact. It's Milner that's going to slot into the right back position so that Bobby Clark, number 42, on your television screens. Can play in a more natural role. He's making a nice run. He's trying to be active and find some space for himself. I'm sure he'd like to make at least one attacking contribution to show that he's up to snuff. And City go up 2 goals on Palace through Holland. Once again, hat-trick for the Norwegian, but that's okay. Again, it's going to be a long season. I'm sure that City will drop some points. They are not perfect, though some people have a hard time understanding that. They're human. Left-footed cross in by Tsimikas, and it's 9-0. And it's Luis Diaz for Liverpool. And I think that this GIF is certainly fitting now than ever. He says it's over, and yeah, I mean, he does a little dance. I mean, at what point is this just taunting? No, it's all in good spirit. He's not being too disrespectful, but he does do his little samba dance. Not that that's a move I have in my repertoire. Luis Diaz with a headed goal from 4 or 5 yards, and wow. I don't care who you're playing. I don't care if you're playing Morecambe. This is a statement victory for Liverpool. It resets the psyche of Liverpool. 9-0. Who knows? Maybe Klopp will even give them a night off to celebrate and kind of let that winning, dominant, swaggering feeling settle in a bit more. And Scott Parker is saying go down the line and trying to offer some instructions. I mean, what's the point at this stage? It is 9-0. Great to put Liverpool up there in the pantheon of biggest victories ever in Premier League history. Yeah, I think this is it. I mean, there's been a few 9-0s. Obviously, Southampton have gotten beaten up good. 2 9-0s in recent history, as well as who is it? United beat Ipswich 9-0, I believe, back in the 90s. So, who knows? Maybe Liverpool can get that 10th. Double digits would be awfully nice. I mean, you don't get too many opportunities to score this many goals. So, why not? Keep it going. Here's Mo Salah. Who would have had that? Not only a 9-0, but Mo Salah isn't even on the score sheet. How pathetic. But good on Klopp for letting him stay on the pitch to add to his goal tally. A little bit of confusion here. Is there a flat? I don't know. It's a drop. I don't know what led to that. But anyway, Liverpool in possession and Bournemouth into full what do you call it? Bunker mode. There's Darwin in his training shirt, chatting with Thiago on the bench. He just pulled a little bit of a Dybala to have a private conversation with Thiago. But yeah, I can't wait to see him back in the Liverpool red. Again, Newcastle is up next, Eastern Time, 3 p.m. on Wednesday. I'll try to do a stream, but that might be a tough day for me. And then, next Saturday is it's Labor Day weekend here in the United States. And it's Everton versus Liverpool at 7:30. So that's the early match. Oh boy, a little collision there between Gomez and Fabinho. A little bit of miscommunication, and there's going to be a Bournemouth throw-in near the halfway line. Just chuckling. I mean, every single YouTube bio that I've written so far this season has been way wide of the mark. First, I started with the title that little a little sensationalistic, sort of tongue in cheek. Although clickbait headlines, you never know. Obviously they're just meant to get views. But anyway, my tongue in cheek headline was Marco Silva saying that Fulham weren't ready. I was just quoting him. But I put Fulham weren't ready, and then of course they performed very well and got the draw against us. Then Crystal Palace, I said something about Liverpool hoping to get our first victory or something at Anfield. And then, and Milner almost squeaked in a cross for the 10th goal, but Travers well saved, and it's going to be a Liverpool corner. Again, you just have to feel bad. I mean, honestly, the fear in Travers' eyes, he's trying to encourage his defenders to close people down, but I mean, he really looks like a college goalkeeper. What that would look like against Liverpool. I mean, he's doing well enough. I mean, none of the goals have really been his fault, but he's just obviously being inundated. Interested to see on a 9-0 scoreline what the XG for Liverpool is. Let's see how high it can possibly go. There's a VAR check on for the penalty on Carvalho. I'm not sure on that. He was going for, I don't know if he really got a nudge there, but we shall see. Only 3.21 on expected goals for Liverpool. I mean, Trent did bang it in from way outside, as well as you had an own goal, so I can't imagine that those were too high of XG, but Liverpool hoping to get that 10th. But anyway, I was recapping my awful headlines and bios, but speeding right through to today's. I said, anyone see this one? Also, this tongue-in-cheek, of course. Relegation candidates face off at Anfield. Salah working with Bobby Clark to try and fashion Liverpool another chance, as Clark darted forward and tried to get a shot off, but the Bournemouth defender got the better of him, and 3 minutes to go for a total of 4 minutes in stoppage, as I thought it was going to be a Liverpool throw, but it is not. Fabinho. A little tussle there between Gomez and Solanke. Here's Salah bodying the ball. Solanke does foul him. A little tug on the back of the shirt. So a foul is given. Here's Basadic. He seems to be very a smart, more of like a ball retention type of guy. Definitely going with the safe options. Whereas Bobby Clark, I feel like, is a more direct player. But, one is not better than the other. It's just interesting to see, what players bring. Sometimes players will be shy. I get the sense that these are really more in line with the players' personalities. Again, sometimes you want a player like that, like a Busquets, that is just going to always keep the ball for you, where other times, Carvalho goes down and he's a bit angry that there's a foul. He's creating a little bit of a tussle with the goalkeeper, and he's complaining. Salah's trying to usher him away. Not kicking up too much of a stink, but I don't know that we necessarily need that when we're up 9-0. Klopp is smiling. Again, whether Carvalho is justified or not, it's probably one that you can just laugh off. Carvalho was down on the floor inside the 6. I think probably picked up a little bit of a knock, and then he probably didn't appreciate the words from the goalkeeper. But anyway, not a big deal as he jogs off. What was I going to say? Klopp and Parker share a friendly hug. Oh, bad back pass by Bournemouth, but they get away with it. It was almost Diaz happily accepting a little through ball to set him jetting away towards the Bournemouth goal, about 40 yards from goal, but wasn't able to pick up possession of it. Oh, I was just finishing my thoughts on Basadic. You know, again, seems more of like a possession guy. Seems pretty composed on the ball. You know, one might argue that it's easy to maintain your composure up, 7 or 8-0. I forget what the scoreline was when he came on, as well as Bobby Clark really trying to make those through runs. He's maybe a bit more like Carvalho, a bit more of that profile of player. There goes the match. Klopp certainly happy with that one. A statement response from Liverpool. We'll want to see that same level of energy on Wednesday, which I believe is home to Newcastle. Newcastle obviously quite a good team. Who knows if Alexander Isak will make his debut. New, big, tall, lanky signing for Newcastle. Yeah, that is 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Liverpool-Newcastle is up next. Way to go, Liverpool. First win of the season. What a win it is, 9-0. And I appreciate all of the viewers and the interaction from Inton Bigums. A troll comment nonetheless, but anyway, good to see friends and viewers getting involved. Thank you very much. It has been Liverpool 9, Bournemouth 0. I'm your host, Scott Beaty. This has been Beaty's Beat, and I will catch you next time for another watch-along involving commentary, conversation, and companionship. Have yourself a nice day. See you later.